Hey guys, it's Mark here from ETFtracker, and today we are taking a look at an ESG ethical ETF, and that is ETHI. It's the biggest one in the Aussie market. It's the most popular by the amount of trades and transactions that are happening in it, and we will see that in the data. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we are at the main ETFtracker page. So we'll go to accessing the ETF app. ETFtracker app, and let's go to full screen mode so that you guys at home can see. And we'll go to the ETF Snapshots. That's the third option on the landing page. And that comes up with the drop down. We've got some ETF info here for the first ETF alphabetical order, and that is A200. But let's go to ETHI, and we'll go through some of the information for those that might not already know. You might already know this, and that's great, but for anyone else, here we go. So it is called the BetaShares Global Sustainability Leaders ETF. It's provided by BetaShares. It's in the global strategy section, and its benchmark is the NASDAQ Future Global Sustainability Leaders. So for all of the benchmarks that we have for these ETFs, you can actually Google those and take a look at some more details if you're interested. It's got 214 holdings, and we'll take a look at that. And we'll see the description here. It aims to track the performance of an index. So that's that index there. That includes a portfolio of large global stocks identified as climate leaders that have also passed screens to exclude companies with direct or significant exposures to fossil fuels or engage in activities deemed inconsistent with responsible investment considerations. Now, you can take a look more in terms of the details on their website. You can also go to the Google Finance page to see some more details about the latest price action that's going on, because the details that we've got here are only up until August. It's the 28th of September right now. The ASX is going to come out with new data for this, for the monthly statistics that we have. That'll be early in October, so around the 10th of October. We don't have the MSCI ESG ratings yet, but that is coming soon. So we'll be collating those. And when you click on this link, it will take you to that page so you can see how it looks on the MSCI website as well. But just taking a look at the tiles that we've got here. So the metrics that we get from the ASX and TRIAX, and first up is returns. So we can see that in the time that it has been around, so since, before 2017, we've only got data going back to then, because that's when the Excel data was coming out from the ASX. It's returned 103% if we add up all of those 1 month returns. Its latest 1 month return was 4.7%. If we expand on that, we can see how that profile has looked over time, and that's the 1 month returns here. And then cumulatively, we can see what that has been like over a longer period. So there's 56 months of data there. So this is quite a positively returning ETF. And then we can see inflows here as well. So it has always been popular since its inception, but it's really in 2020 when it's been surging up even more. It has been a period of, changes to existing ETFs to become ESG, new ESG ETFs and clean energy type ETFs being listed. And all of that just culminates in helping ETFs like ETHI get even more popular. And we can see that it is just under 2 billion in terms of FUM. So that's really interesting there. It's very popular. It's the biggest ESG one in the market right now. And in terms of transactions, we can see that it is just off its highest ever month, which was July in terms of number of trades. It is now just a little bit below that. So August was 17,000. And transaction volumes has also been increasing, as well as the value of those transactions too. So that's interesting. And then if we take a look at tradability, which is always important, we can see that monthly liquidity was quite high. We see a lot of these whenever they initially list. They have that really high liquidity score, but they level out. So if we expand on this, we can see here that it was at 8.3%. It's just under 10% over the last year or so. So it's holding steady there. And we can see that the spreads have been decreasing. So the latest figure is 0.10%. And that's good because we want to see liquidity getting better. We want to see spreads decreasing, which means that it's easier to trade. So that's definitely a good sign there. And then in terms of distribution yield, we can see that that's been improving over time. So there was a good period of last year where the distribution yield was quite high. Its management expense ratio is 0.59%. So that's holding steady. If we take a look at the holdings, we can see the biggest weight is across in the US. So it's Nvidia, Apple, Visa, Home Depot, PayPal, ASML, MasterCard, Adobe, Toyota, etc. And that the top 10 holdings makes up just over 33% of this ETF, and its average weight is 0.47% across the 214 holdings. So yeah, that is it. You can do more with ETFtracker. So for example, you can go into the ETF holdings and you can compare how ETHI looks versus other ETFs. It doesn't just have to be ESG ETFs. You will find that ETHI, if you compare it to NDQ or IVV or some of these other US names, that there's going to be some crossover there. But ETHI definitely screens it more, not just taking an index, but will screen it more from that, not just a broad index, but looking for those ESG type factors. So take a look. This is all free. And if you are interested in learning more about these, follow along with the series, and please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see what we've got next. Bye.